guys, I'm Sync.
And I'm Echo.
And we're back once again playing Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations in the last episode. So Maya is protecting Gato, who we are positive is the killer. And now it just comes down to this last statement, this last testimony, I guess. I don't have much more of an intro, so
let's just get into
let's get going, yeah.
Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first and cheered her up right up.
Oh, okay. Who is this Pearly?
We talked about her? Pearl Faye?
Pearl Faye.
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on! Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more obvious person than I'll ever be. Wow.
Real smart, Maya.
You always know the best thing to say when you're under oath.
Ha! The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Gato! Let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but, well, Mr. Wright?
Let's get this cross-examination started.
After the incident,
Pearly was also stuck that night. Next morning, looked around but couldn't find anyone. Next day, when the bridge was fixed, she spared her room when Mr. Guard arrived. The first time found Pearly first and cheered her right up.
I want to hear about that. How did he cheer her up?
I just always need this last part so I know the difference between the end of the press and the start of this.
Yeah.
There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Gato when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he could have killed at least Diaxno.
Also, it's a good thing so that you can skip through it faster if you go too far.
No, that's the wrong one. He cheered her up. That's what Pearly said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. I can be two things, Mr. Judge. Cut it out. You're making me blush.
This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one.
The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style. I'm the same way. I like to hand down my verdicts in my own way, judge style.
Maybe I should ask some questions, Phoenix style.
His investigation, I guess?
Okay, I know it's obviously his investigation, but I just want to hear about
cheering up Pearls. I do too.
So you cheer Pearls up?
When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked about was her cousin Maya Faye.
Really?
The bridge had burned down, and she was huddled up in that tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there.
Nights?
Yeah. She asked about you before she said anything about herself.
Pearly!
I noticed that you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side, but I couldn't find it in me to tell her that. So I gave her my last cup.
A coffee?
With milk and sugar to hide the bitterness of the harsh truth.
Okay. That's in your term, that is very sweet.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, but please do not give this 9-year-old child coffee.
Well, what a sweet story.
It had a thermos of coffee. Why doesn't that surprise me? There's only one thing of any importance here.
Yep.
It was gone when the murder was taking place. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Denise. The next blah 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 blah. Oh, whoops, my bad.
See, just in case.
Okay, now we can go to the meat and bones of all this. What did you see? You said you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything?
It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall.
Are you talking about the scroll? Beauty?
Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by a hue of aroma of Western tastes. So...
Yep! Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hues and aroma of Western tastes. Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Western taste? Could he find a stranger way to describe a gravy?
So, from there you headed to the prep room.
How did you know that was me,
How
Misty
did you know
Faye?
it was Misty Faye?
Wait a sec. What did Godot say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Okay. Was it because he said this is what he noticed when he got
Arrived
there?
at the temple for the first time, yeah.
Oh, but she's covered by gravy. How would he know?
Yeah.
You know, her Japanese garb splattered with the Western taste, whatever. I forgot his words for it.
Yeah.
Objection!
Mr. Gatto, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went to the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place. What? Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall.
Hanging scroll?
But Mr. Gatto is right. The scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. Oh,
What is that wonderfully delicious smell?
why does this still smell delicious after a couple days?
So
I guess maybe it wouldn't take that. Maybe it would take longer to rancid, but still.
For 4D evidence, projections that you can see, hear, touch, and smell.
Well,
For a world of flip phones and VHSs, those VHS tapes have really gone the extra mile to have the 4D experience.
oh yeah, that wonderful VHS 4D-ness. The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. I saw that as compliment, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Godot, you really haven't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder. You wouldn't have had any way of knowing it was Mystic Faye. Hold it! Wait a minute, Nick! Yes? Take another look at the scroll. Look, at the top, there's this crest there.
Deja vu!
That is the mark of the master, correct? Exactly! Now, so if you know the meaning of the mark...
Then you could guess there's a picture of Misty Faye on there.
How? What? Okay, why would you know that, Judge? True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hues and aroma of Western tastes. Oh! Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he wouldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were in hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place.
Can I ask you one little thing, Trite?
What is it?
This whole theory of yours,
Motive.
it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that the crime was going to be committed.
That's right! Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan. Huh?
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan?
Opened once before. It wasn't Maya who opened it. It was Godot!
It was Gato.
This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay altered the plan for her daughter's future. And these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls even ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple.
And you're saying this crafty killer is me?
You bet I am.
But you just said the instructions were hidden.
That's right! Mr. Goddard couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, when was that?
During a visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. He was there? Well, that would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on a visit to the detention center?
Yes, it would be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot.
Order! 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 Mr. Gatto, you are under fire again.
This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee.
Sorry for always asking, but what's that mean?
It means that there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer, in this case, eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he had learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness?
That's right.
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this?
No, okay, not there.
This girl is nothing but a stranger to me.
That time you blamed us for Mia death, says otherwise.
I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her.
That moment you accused us of Mia's death.
I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering the killer wanted to protect this witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Gato. For the same reason, huh?
Okay, Trite, I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
Well, what's this?
There's one person who lies in the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. There's a very good reason why Mia Faye's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Faye's only sister.
Mia Faye.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney.
Well, wait a second here. Mr. Gatto is a defense attorney?
With your Honor's piercing intelligence, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
At last, someone called me by that name. It was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. The name rings a bell.
It should, Your Honor. All this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Faye's first time in court, the tragic outcome left her with a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind all of it was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Mia, you can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. That pure sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then, one fateful day, Dahlia Hawthorne wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. Ah, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. I didn't even see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all!
No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
That's terrible!
Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years have passed since I drank that poisoned brew. Then one morning my eyes flew open from the smell of the doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? And the worst possible news was awaiting me. Mia Faye was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. And the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Huh. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad!
For someone like me, for someone who had slept away the best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
The first was you, Trite.
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey would have never died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who could protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that!
I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor? My other reason for living. She goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Korean village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that at that time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices? Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
But how did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years.
Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean officially?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government?
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something up to that effect. She said that the Master of Crime had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. The police had been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
She was always...
That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The data plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time in Hazakura Temple. That was when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized then just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey, if necessary. Yes. Even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
But Mother!
That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean Pearls, don't you?
We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you gonna do tonight?
Well,
If you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing a part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up.
she was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Fey had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dolly Hawthorne into her own body. What? What you don't mean?
If she channeled spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master of Korean, Misty Fey's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dolly Hawthorne so that Pearl Fay wouldn't be able to.
What?
What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fey. That's why I hid myself in the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dolly Hawthorne.
Godot.
Anyway, that's all I'm gonna admit to. Trite.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense lawyer. But, you're going to have to do the rest yourself. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Gatto. Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
No, Nick! Please don't! Maya, I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia, and me too! Maya, I know that! Nick! But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify.
Miss Fey, your testimony, please.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
Alright, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I asked for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though. She struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
These red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappear all of a sudden.
Ha. Things break, Trite. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Fey? It looks like you still can't prove it.
Maya is telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
For having red lights, 3 not helped but splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, struck back. The red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, a horrible scream. Ellie collapsed and lost consciousness. I've got to use this testimony to prove that Godot committed the murder. I really wish I didn't have to do it. But for some reason, I think I get the feeling that part of Godot actually wants me to. Oh wait, no, tell me about the scream. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out? Yes, that's right. The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What? So then, that scream came from the killer?
That's gotta be it. Is the blood Godot's? I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow. I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me.
It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. That sounds about right. I'm afraid of saying there's a contradiction because I don't know it yet.
All we know about the dagger is that it's not the victim's.
So, yes, that's an actual murder weapon. Must have stabbed the victim. Then with the staff, she said.
Maybe the staff.
Maybe the staff, and then the killer took it back. And stabbed her.
In the back, but then...
In the back. But that also doesn't... That contradict with what Dahlia said. Dahlia says
she was stabbed in the back.
No, yes, she said that she was stabbed in the...
The victim was stabbed in the back, but also that she...
was attacking Maya.
Attacking Maya, and that she never... turned around.
Yeah, and that she, when she was about to attack, she lost control.
She lost, yeah,
her memory she stopped. That's when she stopped.
That's when she lost consciousness.
Which means,
yeah.
Which is the weird part.
Yeah. So.
I feel like there's a contradiction with what Dahlia said.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with it. My guts. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Remember the testimony she just gave before the killer let out a scream. Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood.
That's also true.
Oh, that's right. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Is that right? She could have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. Oh, is that what we were going for? That it was the dagger? I already assumed that it was the dagger.
You said the dagger, and then you just...
But I was like, but the dagger is probably the one to stab Godot if, Maya didn't get stabbed.
Yeah. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite.
There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here.
If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have been used to strike back at the killer?
The thing that was already in her hand. The dagger. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Not the killer. Mm-hmm. Dahlia.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that.
This dagger was found at a crime scene, stuck in a pine tree.
Yes. The detective found that this morning and brought it to me.
Oh, that's why. This morning!
Yeah. Way to go, Gumshoe!
Dahlia Hawthorne struck back with the killer at the killer with this. And she managed to wound him as well.
Objection!
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
That's not what the test result said.
Yeah.
Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned that it wasn't the victim's blood, it must have been the killer's blood. The killer must have had a wound somewhere on his body.
So you're saying that the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer?
Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood.
Nice theory, Trite. Order in the court.
Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the result of its scientific test.
Ha. Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say that it turned out I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that?
What?
Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought it to me. There was already a bloodstain on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, well, what does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it.
That it can't be!
In any case, there's one thing I can agree with, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance.
What?
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness, continue with your testimony.
Hold it! Wait a minute!
What is the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation. Maya! This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer? That's right. But, if Mr. Goddard had really been cut with a dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right? Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes. That solved the contradiction really pretty easily. What are you talking about? That's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
Ah, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed, the police headed to the inner temple. Mr. Gatto was already
there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Unless he brought a pair with him, because this was all pre-planned. This thing was all planned out to protect you. Ah!
Order in the court. What the witness says is true.
Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike to shut down the bridge. Why would anyone brought a change of clothes?
Did the judge just take smart pills during the last recess? Did the judge just get smarted?
Yeah.
Did the judge ate some smart candy?
Well, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder.
Oh, right, that was me. Oh well, that way he couldn't get any blood on them.
That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. After a few moments with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid.
That is very true. It's a very cold place. Ah!
Ha. So, that's all you've got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already.
If Mia Fey were here.
So come on, Trite. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Gatto of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you gotten even one piece of evidence?
The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is I have to prove it. And that's the only choice I have. I was taught that it is one of those rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. My thinking is that he got hit across the face where his visor is. But moving on. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want.
Dun, 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 dun. Ah, that's the good. A fighter till the bitter end, Trite. He's turning on music. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't you go for the old unlimited penalty?
Oh, shite. Did Alia really just miss the cloak? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I got the one piece of evidence I need.
Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trite.
So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I gotta think outside the box and approach this from a different angle.
I thought I was gonna do the line. Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's hear what we've got.
There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger.
But we decided that it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he was cut by a dagger, then there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing.
There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound.
Well, what did you say?
His face, hidden. This is it, my last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there are no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound.
It's the end of the line. The final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got.
He hid his wound under his visor.
Where is the location you say the killer hid his wound?
His visor. That's my only thought right now. The only place he can hide it is his face!
Ha! I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite? What was that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on. Through him?
Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask! I was right the first time! He was hiding beneath the one place he can't see. His mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask is flying off your face! Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere? Then I say this whole case is solved!
Gah! Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago. You helped that woman put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought.
Mr. Godot!
But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find in my heart to forgive was me. Yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit.
But, you saved Maya!
Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I really had wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick?
But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother. I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason?
No. Why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I left you walk right into a situation I knew was dangerous. Forgive me.
You're wrong! You put your life on the line to save Maya!
Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette, part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up that blade. Like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me the last 6 years earlier? Could have been simply a desire for revenge. And now, I don't need to know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion. A fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in a courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my own folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything.
Mr. Goda.
I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando! I believe in you! I know you are trying to save me!
Thanks.
Your wound is bleeding!
Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma. I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando!
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant. Yes, Your Honor? Although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the scene of the crime is a serious offense in itself. I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained to me very carefully. I knew the risks and I was willingly cooperated anyway. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say? Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright. I wanted to apologize to you.
Apologize? To me? For what?
For the case 6 years ago. Of course. I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? No.
Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 6 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me.
It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister. You only met twice.
Iris switched place with Dahlia? Is this what you're saying? Huh? What? We only met twice?
The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 6 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. And Doug Swallow was killed.
No way! It can't be true! I mean, during our whole relationship we were...
For those 6 months, the woman that you thought was Dolly Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia?
I hope one day you can forgive me, Fanny.
You mean...
That's right. I lied to you. For 6 months. But why? Why would you do such a thing? Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the very beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
But prepare for the worst?
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
She already had said so much to answer for. She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle headed back for me in her place?
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 6 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time it had ever happened.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed.
Notice what?
My feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life. Or mine.
Iris!
After spending half a year by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
I have something to say to you too.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dolly Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you. How many cups of darkness have I drinking over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you what though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so? Phoenix Wright?
Yeah, I think you're right.
The purpose of this trial was to rule on a murder for the victim, Elise Dixnam. At some point, I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case. I understand, Your Honor. Very well. On this charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Court is now adjourned.
We didn't get any confetti.
So, I guess that's all over. The way everything ended. Was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is getting sent to prison by my own hand.
Of course, justice was served.
Mia!
I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant.
But I couldn't save Mr. Armando. The man who cared so deeply for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible.
You mean, with that verdict?
I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You are as good out there today as any defense lawyer could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me.
No, Mia!
You accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Mia.
I'm sure we'll meet again. Someday, Phoenix.
I've handled a lot of cases and seen a lot of things. And along the journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to be to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick?
Maya!
I guess it's just like my sister said.
Your sister? Mia?
That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
But...
Come on, cut it out with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick.
Maya, how can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened?
She's strong.
You were brutally attacked. You even saw your own mother murdered.
Ouch! Oh, I thought it was me, Maya, who got attacked.
Francisca!
How pissed were you? Still a softie as always, Phoenix, right?
Excellent work, right?
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that.
I mean, she was in the medical, and then she was in court, and then, yeah, you know.
Yeah. Edgeworth and Francisca have actually been helping me.
Yeah, Francisca was an assistant for a day. It was great.
It was the best day of Echo's life.
I mean, I love you, Maya. If you and Francie was both there, it would have made my day. But she really helped set Phoenix on some things. Helped him realize that he really should talk to people and console them.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that ever got to him, but she made him. Helping you?
If these two hadn't been here on the first day of trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow! But where were you, Nick?
As you say, in a courtroom, which probably has security cameras.
Oh, no. Well, you know, Edgeworth on security camera was a defense attorney.
Yeah.
I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day.
Also, one thing I want to mention is that's why Diego Armando drinks as much coffee as he does. He's been asleep for 6 years, so why would he want to sleep?
Well, that is very true.
Yes, he laid in bed, shivering, from his fever, with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Oh, ouch! Talk about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too. Francisca? What do I call you?
She's like, see, again, this probably translates from Japanese. It's like, I guess we're on a first name basis now.
But It's interesting because she said Mr. Edgeworth and Francis.
Yeah, right? I don't suppose.
No!
There's room for me in this group here, is there?
Fuck you! Oh, Larry! I don't.
What's with the long face, longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never good use to anyone, not even once.
Okay, yes, we have known this for literally years. That's okay. I'm not saying that, right, Nick? Because I think it is true.
What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Oh, yeah, of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better without if I was gone for good.
That's very true.
No. I mean, oh yeah.
Yes, actually, I believe this strongly, but no, we can't say that to his face.
Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? But me? Hey, why are you making that face, huh, Edgy?
The both of them was like, what the fuck do I say to Larry, because he is a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
A dumbass and no good to the world. But we can't say that to his face.
Well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that it's lacking resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Francie? Did I draw you well, too? Wah!
My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. But Carl was like, nope. Yeah, Francie, you give him that whip. I still think he deserves it. Oh no, is she? Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something. She did. Yeah. She gave under the stare of Maya. Maya truly has a frightening ability. Even Francisco Von Karma had been to it.
Then you'll do it like you promised?
No!
You're going to model for my next picture book, Francie's whippy lipstick?
Don't get carried away. But at least he still got whipped.
Yeah. Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at.
Don't paint women.
Painting a pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me.
Oh, damn it, he did it.
No, I mean, yeah.
But at least you're smart enough to realize it would be creepy if you hit on Pearl.
Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around.
Wait, Mia disappeared, and Pearl disappeared when she got released.
Yeah. Pearls? Where could she have gone?
Have we checked the bathroom?
Normally she would make a beeline for Maya.
She must be really sad learning what the plan actually was.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. Hey, Pearly!
Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you're wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that's happened. Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Francisca? That's right, she lost her father fairly recently as well. I think I understand how she feels. Maya's a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time she needs to be strong as she can.
What do you mean by, now exactly the time?
Maya wasn't the only one badly wounded by this incident.
Pearl?
In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it is for that person Maya's trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt far more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth? I think I'm starting to understand too. Ow!
Then tell me, Phoenix Wright. Who is Maya Fey being strong for? I mean...
Yeah.
After everything. Pearl Fey.
The Pearl Kid, after all. The reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Pearl clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Fey's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake. Until she can smile again. And until she can see her smile again. Oh, hey! Is this where you were all after all? Wow, looks like everyone got quite a bunch here today. Ouch! Well, what was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win! Let's go out tonight, pal! Dinner's on me!
Oh boy. Oh boy.
My salary just sorta kinda gone down a teeny weeny bit, but it's alright.
No. You see, dinner today is on Edgeworth.
I made reservations at a first-class French restaurant tonight.
Please don't say Chesbian.
Ah!
Pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
Detective Gumshoe, you said a first-class French restaurant. You don't mean Tribulations? Where else? I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone. I can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you crybaby, you're invited too. Oh, forgive me. Pearl and I are gonna be in the loser shack.
Bye! Bye!
You know, Maya's taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong?
Nick, what do I do? Pearlie, I can't find her anywhere.
Huh? I bet she just went back home. That's all.
I thought that too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. That has never happened before. But she was just here. She couldn't have gotten home. Like at all. There's only 2 buses that go over to your house, to your home.
As I figured, she's been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that's been befallen you, Maya.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, what is it, pal?
Where's Missile?
Could you guys go on ahead? But what about you? Maya and I we'll join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick!
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, you're the one! Ah!
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead. Oh gosh.
Don't keep us waiting, right?
Oh, now I have to see the reaction on the dinner. No, Chesbian! I can't believe that place is still open. Wasn't the chef found guilty of being an accomplice?
I don't know. We'll find out. We won't.
But where should we look? Where could Pearlie have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think that pearls might have gone to.
Hazakura Temple.
For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started.
What's this? You're back again so soon? Sister Bikini? I thought we'd be eating mashed potato alone tonight. So she's here? Pearlie is here? She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her? Oh, okay. Pearlie's not here.
Ah! Maya! Hanging scroll.
Ah! Someone cleaned it off. How? That thing's paper. There's not even a stain. Oh wait. Nah, no stain.
It's gotta be pearls.
Ah! Mystic Maya! Pearlie! Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya, I swear that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother...
That's why you came here?
It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness. You don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya! I'm impressed. You truly are the daughter of Misty Faye. Sister Bikini! Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
After dishonoring the good name of Crane, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die.
I'm sorry, but what about Mia? I mean, I know she's dead, but still. Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets.
She'll always be with me until the day I die. Huh. There's a rule or something for all masters are to follow, isn't there? To never take the charm off until the day you die.
That's the master's talisman!
The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important, rather it was the contents.
That's a photo? Ah! Mother!
It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are the warriors who constantly challenged by that question.
Oh no! They weren't the first one!
Yeah.
Oh! Look at these sweet babies! They taken by surprise too! Mother just came with a camera and took a picture of you two! Putting back together the content of Mystic Ami's jar! Urn! That's what it's called! Oh! Look at them!
Even when the battle is over, the bonds that connect us are severed. We always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother, too. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we go? Everyone's waiting. It's a day to remember, the day when a lot of things were finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today.
But I still can't. Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime. Okay. Alright, I'm going to make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training, I promise. I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare a reservation for three when you come back. Whoa! Alright, we're going to have a great feast tonight, Pearly. No, you're not. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. No, you're not. Okay, Mystic Maya, I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight. Good luck.
Maybe it's under new management?
Good luck. I pray for your stomach and your bowels.
Yeah. There's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but
What is it, Nick?
reservations for the training hall are fine and all, but why for 3?
Come on, what do you think? You're not one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us.
Huh?
I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you.
Huh?
It'll be great, Nick. We'll be going to do the special course naturally.
Huh?
That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? You'd walk on hard coals, right? Oh no, we're back to this again. We'll have a nice big meal right before we come next time. Right, Nick?
I was wondering if I could just say one little thing.
Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it. I'm getting goosebumps too.
Well then, here it goes nothing.
Oh my god, that was so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on this shit. Okay, never mind. I really have to work extra hard now. Master Kurine is the office manager of writing co-law offices, and I have to be a good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. Oh, Maya.
Oh, Maya, you get captured way too often.
Sweet child. I can't wait to see you as an adult.
Yeah.
So it's true, Mr. Nick really is Mr. Maya's knight in shiny armor. He went through the special course all the way to the end. Oh, actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I surprised the two of them by making them a secret reservation. Oh, again?
So this just confirms
no.
they're not talking to Phoenix. They're talking to someone else.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I remember who.
What? Nuke? What?
Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off. Yes.
But somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess a dirty, shabby old coat is just like it's more detective-like, sir.
Don't worry about it. I'm in the name of love, a man will soil himself silly.
Well, that's sweet. That's sweet. Oh shit. Voices! Ah, Mr. Wright, I am once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasure of Crime expedition was really a great success. I even got to see Miss Von Carver, who I haven't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip and said that I must show you what I've learned. Is this like a recording for someone else? Because that was directly to Miss
Phoenix, yeah. I don't know.
Oh no, I don't remember voices. Tizzy and I started a company called Mass Constantly. We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Our motto is, "Run it out, please." Pretty cute. Oh wait, what? Who's saying what?
Yeah.
Well, we also sell flavor. Well, I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals.
Yes. Now the series of things where we go, oh shit, how do I do voices?
Oh no, I don't remember the voice. Oh, maybe I remember you. Mr. Wright, I wanted to thank you for exterminating Don Tigre. I returned the $5,000 along with a tea set. A special thick tea, one I mixed with my own too. I bet he's drinking now. When through compromise. I don't remember that voice. I just remember it being creepy.
Yeah. I'm just an old man in the way. Wrinkly old grumpy clown, nose waste of flesh. At least I thought that's why it was. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 years old, I'm crying like a baby with a dirty diaper.
Well, at least now I know that they actually are just, they love him.
Yeah.
Oh no. As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn L. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is fucking Larry. Oh, Adam Man.
That's also a thing.
As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuit would align perfectly because his name was a palindrome.
Yep.
Literally, just find everyone whose name is a palindrome. He works fine in that company.
Yeah.
My. More reporters. Since the murder, we made so much money. I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like like us because I provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Whoa! Oh my gosh.
You've done so many of the voices for the extra characters. You've voiced so many characters. I've done one so far.
You did 2. Gumshoe.
The Gumshoe. Okay, yes, I did 2. Oh,
And
he's
here's
3rd.
better.
You've turned into such a respectable man, Fenny. Oh, now he's talking. Okay. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come by and visit me the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I feel kind of bad that the little one slapped you so hard for me. You got a nosebleed.
Oh, Pearl!
Oh.
Pearl! Sweet baby.
Yeah, finally they
Roman
get
Reigns.
recognition, I think. I never remember this part, but
Oh my gosh.
voice actors get recognition. Oh,
Objection!
Mia Fey.
Cristino Catano. I'm not sure if that's actually how it's pronounced, but that's what I think. Objection.
Ha, Gatto.
James C. Wilson. Oh, I love how Edward was on the defense side.
Yeah, he was. Because he was never a prosecutor in
In
this
this
case.
game, Janet Sue. Interesting. Oh gosh!
Ah.
You and your pump the door that shouldn't really exist.
And it gets blown away.
No! No! What's this? I'm back from a long entire vacation and no one is here to
She
greet me.
is in this game!
Well, I was gone my little bit of everybody quit and now I got no one. What kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? What's with all the flashing lights and switches? I feel like some sort of special alien. And now what am I going to do with all these macadamia nuts I brought back for Emma? If I bring it over to Edgefield and know exactly what you do, I can't promise it except the afraid of something in paper is matter hard. Oh, I'm never trying to shut me with me like 5 for like oh gosh. Oh my gosh. We can't! God damn it! Oh, bag!
Every single game, she has to make an appearance.
I can't skip him!
I finally have something I love to do!
Fuck this
So Avengers
shit!
Lash
Fuck this
Slash.
shit!
I
Fuck
should
this
be he's a
shit!
I'm a self-censored
son of a
lazy
bitch!
asshole. I'm a good artist.
San Francisco whip you so
I'm
hard!
not losing after all!
Oh, look at this happy picture of them. Aww. Rest in peace, I hope you do.
Yeah. The end.
Oh my god.
So, since we had to voice everyone, thoughts on the project?
That was extremely good. That last case was the best. And I'm not saying because Francisca, but actually like the story of that case was so good. I never thought I thought the other cases, the other last game cases, minus Rise from the Ashes, and we're talking about the other one,
The DL6
the
one.
CL6 one. They were all good, but this one just took it and like kick it across the football field. Like, this is the best last case. It was so good. I find everything tragic. Everything was tragic. And fucking Dahlia.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch, you didn't fucking exist. I swear. And now we know who Iris was actually working for.
Yeah.
It wasn't Dahlia. It was Godot. And I'm not sure. I'm really surprised that she agreed. Like, cause she was always like, she tried to stop. She's kind of like, yeah, like her sister partner in crime, quote unquote. But like, in this very last case, she admitted to like the previous things, but she didn't really fully commit to them. And but this one, she was like straight up trying, just like Godot's like come to her, she's like, I'll do it. because I think what she was really trying to do was to make up for everything her sister did.
Yeah.
Which I think is unfortunate, because she shouldn't have to answer for what her sister did.
Yeah.
Her sister choice was her own, and she made the shittiest of choice, and she obviously should have gotten help at a young age. But I guess she was trying. I think she just thinks that she failed as a sister for her twin to go down that road.
That's the kind-hearted person that she is.
I have to say, I appreciate Sister Bikini. She, even though she was just the head nun of that place, she raised Iris to be a really good person. Whereas Dahlia, something happened with Dahlia the moment the divorce happened. That's what I think. If Dahlia was to have been raised by Sister Bikini, I think none of this would ever happen. Ever.
Yeah.
AU, where Dahlia was raised by Sister Bikini, make it happen!
Well, both of them were raised by Sister Bikini.
Yes, then Iris would have actually gotten love and probably the attention she needed, and probably help as well. Because Sister Bikini, even though she knew Iris did that stuff, she's like, I can't wait for Iris to get back because she loves her. I don't care what anyone else says. Sister Bikini is Iris's mom.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love Sister Bikini. I think she needs to get a lot more credit.
Yeah.
And I can't believe Francisca was the only one consoling Sister Bikini until she forced Phoenix to. You know, I get the feeling that if Maya was there, Maya would have done the same, and also forced Phoenix to do it just without a whip.
Yeah, right.
And it's strange to think that Francisca took Maya's place to do it. Oh my gosh, that was so good. This game was amazing. I think it was really nice. Like, the pace of it was just really set up for that last case. And I think that was really nice.
One last question. What's your thoughts on Prosecutor Gatto as a character?
I think after what he went through, I think it was really unfortunate. He woke up and then he found out that his girlfriend had died, and the person he would want to prosecute was already, or get arrested, is already behind jail and on death row. And that he just woke up with really nothing else. Yeah. And I think in the end, when he was talking about the reason why he was trying to protect Maya, I think that was a mix of both, from what his feelings from Mia about his feeling for Mia, because he knew that she loved her sister so much, and part of it also stemmed from the wanting revenge for Dahlia. I can't blame him for everything, because Dahlia was a shit person, and he had really just lost everything in his life, and he wasn't even alive for that. He woke up and everything was gone. I think in a different universe where Molly Hawthorne was raised under Sister Bikini, everything would have been happy for him. I actually really like his character, especially at the end. Yeah. That little phase, he realized what he was doing was pretty much wrong for him and others. I believe he kept banging on Phoenix, especially when we were investigating, and he blamed everything on Phoenix, Mia's death on Phoenix. And then in the court, he's like, I realized that the only one that he was he couldn't forgive was him, because he was asleep during the whole thing. And I think it's a very unfortunate. This is a very tricky case, because possession. I hope that if he isn't put on death row, that he can find some sort of help or salvation, whatever. I don't even know what the right word is. Something, and to help him move on with his life. Yeah. And I think for him to be put on death row, I'm not sure, like, exactly, I don't remember, like, because this one isn't, like, I guess this is treated like the big top turnabout case, where victim wasn't really intended to be the victim, but at the same time, still killed someone.
Yeah.
And I don't know the law straight up, because I know the people who died, like, Iris, really was shitty, really did those things,
Monster, yeah.
really out of malicious.
Yeah.
But like characters like Godot and like the
Acrobat.
Acro. There's Acro and Bat. No, Bat was the brother.
Acro, you're right.
Acro and the producer from the Samurai case, the Steel Samurai case. I don't believe that really the death penalty is really should be their punishment.
Yeah.
I think they have to be punished, but I don't think death penalty would be the thing, because everything is like, it's really the context behind it. Red, right, a blue corpse definitely deserves the death penalty. That was straight up just fucking thing. I know Acro also intended to murder someone, but he murdered the wrong person. Then he realized, like, the errors of a way, and that, I think that it was just a turning, like, a tipping point for him that really caused that. And it wasn't really like, red, right, or blue corpse, we just fucking killed someone because they were getting in their way.
Yeah.
Or Dahlia Hawthorne, who is a fucking monster, and just like, you're a nuisance, kill.
Yeah. No, yeah, the two things that stand out with me with Gato, which makes him super sympathetic, is that when he woke up, there was no one for him to go to.
Literally everyone was gone.
And the other one, which also makes him a good complex character, is him when he sees Dahlia Hawthorne. Part of it was him protecting Maya, which he could have done a lot sooner, like he said, and not let her walk into this. But also seeing Dahlia Hawthorne, like he said, he didn't know if he was killing the mother of Maya, of Mia and Maya Fey, or a 9-year-old girl, which
would have been even more terrible.
Yeah. So, like, and he still did it. Was it really to protect her, or was it for him to revenge?
I think
it's a mix.
I think it really was a mix. I think Godot, who woke up with nothing 1 year prior to this game, it was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I guess he wasn't that close with Grossberg, his former employer, is as well, because he didn't even go to him. Like, he was still around. We know that, I think.
Yeah.
We only really seen him in the first game, but he was still around, and he didn't go with him. But the person he loved was gone, and another reason for, like, and Dahlia was gone, and that was like someone that he really wanted to put behind bars, but that was already done by Mia.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that he was able to feel good about that was that Mia did it. Mia put Dahlia behind bars.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing to help him with that. But like he really did came back to nothing.
Yeah.
And I think it's really unfortunate. And I know these characters sometimes are, they're a product of what they've been through.
Yeah.
And I think Edgeworth and Godot and Francisca, like, just the prosecutors, are a really good example of it. Because Manfred Von Karma ruined Kid's life. He really shouldn't have kids.
Yeah.
But he did.
Somehow with someone.
Who was... There was two kids.
Eternal.
There was 2 kids. Francisca has an older sibling. According to the internet, a older sister. According to the internet.
Plot twist. Yeah.
But like you see how very emotionally inept Francisca is.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt that is part of Manfred Von Karma's teaching.
Yeah. Raising,
At least with Edgeworth, he had his father,
yeah,
who wasn't emotionally stunted.
Yeah.
to teach him this stuff. He had prior things before coming to the Von Karma household. But then Manfred Von Karma happened.
Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate. Manfred Von Karma also, I don't even know your story, why you're so obsessed with perfection that you would kill someone because they blemish your record.
Yeah.
But like, I want to say at least for one thing, he took the sentence with like heads held up. He's like, "What are you doing, Judge? You know the answer. Raise it."
Yeah.
He just took it. He's like, "You know what? I've had a good run. I'm just gonna take it." Or something. I don't know. Maybe he threw a huge tantrum behind bars. What do I know?
He threw a tantrum, but yeah.
Well, at the very end, he took it in stride.
Yeah.
And I think the prosecutor are a great example of you are what you experience. You are what your experience shaped you to be. But like, it also isn't what define you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well put. Well put. So.
Yeah. Because Franziska consoling someone, that was the huge surprise for me. Of course, there was the thing with Adrian Andrews at the end case of Justice for All, where like Adrian Andrews was really putting her faith in Franziska to get met on guard behind bars. But like at the same time, like that was like weird to me too. Like, why is Franziska doing this? But like. Then Bikini was like, oh, whoa, this hearing about it and seeing it are like two different things.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I love how this game isn't making everyone to be, I'm evil straight off the bat. I'm bad for straight off the bat. I'm like this terrible stuff straight off the bat. Even Dahlia.
Yeah.
Dahlia came from a broken family with a shitty mom and a shitty dad.
Yeah.
And because of that, she grew up to be this monster. Iris, on the other hand, was given away, convinced by Dahlia convinced her father to give away the twin for some reason to Sister Bikini, and Sister Bikini raised her with love, and you can see there's the difference.
Yeah.
That it's not nature, it's nurture.
Yeah.
Those twins are perfect examples for that. And I don't know. This series was so good. I can't wait to continue on.
Yeah. You are free, Echo. You're free to play the rest of the series.
Yes!
And at some point maybe we'll come back and continue the series. But it won't, if we do, it won't be blind.
And it'll be a couple years down because I have a shit memory.
Yeah.
So everything that happens, I'll probably forget about.
And I'll make some quick mentions of my thoughts on the project. I've said so many times I love the series. And I've said it again. I pretty much every single end of each of these games, I have absolutely loved playing this with Echo. And just being able to experience the game almost through her for the first time, and voicing characters while we aren't perfect. Really,
we are not.
we're not perfect. We're not voice actors.
Voice actors. This is not even close to what our profession is.
Yeah, but I've gotten a lot more out of this series than I initially did. Yeah, throughout the series, I've said I've loved it. And I don't remember if I've said this on the recording, but this was also a game that came to me at a very difficult point in my life where a family member passed away while I was playing this, and it came to Edgeworth mentioning how Maya was being strong and that she had to be strong for someone else. From that point and then the epilogue onwards, I was just in tears all the way through the credits, and so that really hit home with me, and so that I think that also adds to why I love this series, is because it spoke to me at a time where I related to. I love this series. I'm glad we were able to play it. I'm glad that we had no problems with the emulator at all, except for that one time during that case 4. But thank you guys for watching. Love the series. Love you guys watching this. And we will see you guys for the next project soon. See you guys then.
Bye.